Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back. We're glad to have you. My name is Steve.
And I'm Scott.
Together, we are Backyard Musings of Science and Technology channel.
Yep, and we're talking about, I guess some would deem a science climate issue, but pollution issue. But we're going to get into it. You can let us know how you feel about it.
Yeah, crazy. That cozy winter fire could be doing far more harm than good. Wood smoke is a hidden killer in America's winter air. Again, we're the messengers. We're not the experts. Okay.
Right.
Adding another log to a glowing fireplace on a cold winter evening often feels comforting and harmless. Yeah, it does. But new research from Northwestern University shows that burning wood inside homes plays a much larger role in winter air pollution across the United States than most people realize. Would you like to know more?
All right. Even though just 2% of U.S. households use wood as their main heating source, that's to me that seems like a low number. But anyway, residential wood burning is responsible for more than 1/5 of America's wintertime exposure to outdoor fine particulate matter, PM 2.5, according to the study. Okay.
These microscopic particles can travel deep into the lungs and enter the bloodstream. Long-term exposure has been linked to heart disease, lung disease, and a higher risk of early death. The researchers estimate that pollution from residential wood burning is associated with roughly 8,600 premature deaths each year. This kind of reminds me of the burn pits in combat in Iraq and Afghanistan. That messed up my lungs, the burn pits.
Well, yeah, but there you're burning toxic stuff, right? I mean, you guys threw everything. Everything you didn't want, you threw in there.
Yep, batteries,
tires, batteries, just
medical
whatever.
waste.
Yeah, and I don't know if anybody's doing that in their fireplace, then they deserve, that's just crazy. They shouldn't be doing that. Wood, paper, fire starter, whatever. But yeah.
Chairs.
Anyway, one of the study's most unexpected findings is who is most affected. The greatest health impacts occur in cities, not rural areas. People of color, see, this is where I just kind of lose it here. People of color also face a disproportionate burden, even though they tend to burn less wood than other groups. So why is that? Higher exposure levels and greater health risks are likely tied to higher baseline mortality rates and the lasting effects of discriminatory policies.
What is that?
I don't understand that. Yeah, I mean, come on. This is...
Is it wood burning injustice?
Yeah, I don't understand that. What the smoke doesn't care what color you are, how much money you make, unless you're burning junk. And I'm not saying that people in the inner cities or people of color is that how they express that.
Well, there's some
people of color.
There's some Chinese restaurants where I've watched, and they don't create any garbage. There's no garbage that comes out, so kind of makes you wonder, where's the garbage going?
Well, I don't know. One man's garbage is another man's treasure. Anyway, the researchers say reducing wood burning inside homes could significantly cut outdoor air pollution, delivering major public health benefits and saving thousands of lives.
The study is published January 23rd, 2026 in the journal Science Advances. Quote, long-term exposure to fine particulate matter is associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular diseases, said Northwestern's Kian Schlepak, who led the study. I wonder, is that Comanche? Schlepak? Huh. Continuing his quote, studies have shown consistently that this exposure leads to a higher risk of death. Our study suggests that one way to substantially reduce this pollution is to reduce residential wood burning, or like burning in your pit out back when you're having friends around, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Using alternative appliances to heat homes instead of burning wood would have a big impact on fine particulate matter in the air.
Yeah, and then you got carbon monoxide issues, and you can't win, it seems like. Most air quality research and regulation is focused on pollution from vehicles, power plants, agriculture, industry, and wildfires. In this study, the researchers turned their attention to a much less examined source: wood burning in homes, including furnaces, boilers, fireplaces, and stoves.
Huh.
I don't know
Stoves.
what I don't know what a furnace and a boiler has to do with. Well, I guess some old boilers use wood, but furnaces, are there still wood burning furnaces out there? I don't think so.
In rural area, not in the city.
Yeah, that's
Huh.
crazy.
You know how Democrats were trying to control gas burning furnaces and stoves. Maybe they're pushing people to do this to kill off the population.
Yeah, I know where our youngest son served his mission in Colorado, out in I think I forget the town, but it was southeast of Grand Junction in the mountains. And these people had an old home. It was an old stone home, and they had a coal burning um, fireplace or boiler, I guess, or whatever, in their basement. Big hole where they backed up the truck and dumped it all in there, and that's how they heated their house. It was crazy. I'd never seen one before. So, but pretty popular, I guess, one time. Okay, my
Yeah,
turn.
so we've used hunting in Colorado. My brother has used coal to put in the stove thing to heat up the tent. It burns hot and it burns for a long time.
Does it smell?
No, no, it just goes up the soot and the whatever goes. No smell at all. I couldn't
Up the
detect
flue?
any smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, does it burn better than wood?
Yeah, longer and hotter. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but
Well,
it costs money. You know, you got to pay for that coal they dig out of the ground.
yeah. Well, you got to pay for the wood too, right? You're not going to haul that from here.
No,
So you got to buy the
we
wood
would
there if you
just
have to
cut the
do that.
wood down right there. We've found deadfall that we've just cut into pieces, brought back to camp, and
Oh,
chopped it up.
they don't have a problem with you doing that, huh?
No, no.
No? Okay.
Huh.
Cool.
All right. They began by collecting data from the National Emissions Inventory, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's detailed database of pollution sources. The NEI estimates wood burning emissions using household surveys, housing characteristics, climate data, and information about heating appliances.
Next, the team applied a high-resolution atmospheric model to track how pollution moves through the air. The model incorporates weather patterns, wind, temperature, terrain, and atmospheric chemistry to estimate air quality over time.
You know, I could see this if there's a neighborhood of like a cul-de-sac, 6, 7, 8 homes, and all of them used fireplaces. I could see how the soot and stuff would hang around, but one or two, I don't think so. You know?
You know, if you're burning good wood and that's seasoned and not green or wet, there should be very, very little smoke or soot coming out of your chimney. So I don't know where they're. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want racist wood. You definitely don't want that.
Well, that's not that, but that's what they're saying,
Yeah,
right?
okay. To capture fine scale patterns, the researchers divided the continental United States into 4 kilometer by 4 kilometer squares. That's a lot of squares. For each square, they calculated how much pollution was produced each hour, how it traveled, and where it built up or dispersed. This neighborhood level approach allowed them to identify pollution hotspots that would be missed by citywide or countywide averages.
They ran the model twice, once including residential wood burning emissions, once without them. By comparing the two scenarios, the team determined that residential wood burning accounts for about 22% of wintertime particulate matter 2.5 pollution, making it one of the largest single sources of fine particulate pollution during coldest months of the year.
Well, at least they didn't do a like a what do you call that? The study with all the numbers, computer simulation. At
Yeah.
least this was, actual data. That's good. The analysis showed that wood smoke is especially harmful in urban and suburban areas where population density, emissions patterns, and atmospheric transport combine to raise exposure levels. In many cases, smoke produced in suburban neighborhoods drifts into nearby city centers where fewer homes burn wood, but far more people live.
It's okay. So I like secondhand smoke type stuff here.
Yeah, yeah.
Cities that are not typically associated with wood burning can also be affected during the cold snaps, recreational burning periods, and when smoke travels long distances through the atmosphere. To assess who was most exposed, the researchers combined their pollution estimates with U.S. Census data and mortality statistics at the track level. They found that They found that people of color experience higher exposure and greater health harms despite lower wood burning emissions. In the Chicago metropolitan area, where you're more likely probably to die of a bullet being shot than you are from secondhand smoke, Black communities face more than 30% higher adverse health effects from residential wood burning than from regional average.
I don't know, but if you've watched the Blues Brothers and they show some cutouts of Chicago, there's a lot of pollution, and it's
and I don't think it's coming from somebody's chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The researchers note that their study focuses only on outdoor exposure to wood burning pollution. Health effects from indoor exposure to particulate matter are also significant, but were not included in the analysis. So don't burn your carpet in the house.
Yeah, just wood. Just burn wood, regular wood.
How about like my chairs? If I break a chair and it's painted,
yeah, not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
A stain or some kind of finish on it, and I mean, you could if you had to. I mean, I'm not saying you can
plywood. You don't want to do plywood. That's the glue inside of there.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know people that burn all kinds of wood, and you know they've lived a long time, but it's not a good practice. But you know, if it's the difference between burning up a chair or a piece of plywood and freezing to death, burn the chair, burn the plywood, open up a window, crack a window, you know, get an air filter to compensate.
Get a gas mask.
Yeah, but
all right, anyway, folks, thanks for joining us.
Yep. Take care, everyone. Thanks.